Hello, and welcome to Lost and Found with Frankie, a podcast for young adults and teens who are just trying to figure out who they are whilst dealing with one of life's most devastating experiences, grief. I'm Frankie, and 10 years ago, when I was 13 years old, I lost my eldest brother, Matt. Like you're probably feeling now, I felt lost, alone, angry, and completely overwhelmed with sadness, and was just craving a space where I could go and feel comforted and understood. So this podcast is my way of creating that space for you, whilst opening up the taboo topic of grief, which so many of us experience. So if you're feeling lost on your journey with grief, hi, and welcome to this safe space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. You are not alone, and I hope that this podcast brings whatever it is that you're seeking on your journey. So let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Lost and Found with Frankie. Now, this week is a bit of a tricky one, as we're going to be talking about Christmas. As this is going out, it is actually Christmas in 2 days' time, which I know for loads, if not all of us, is a really, really emotional, tricky, confusing, overwhelming, dark time. So I just wanted to create a space for 20 minutes, half an hour, for anyone who wants to listen to how my family and I have coped with Christmas over the last 10 years. They sometimes look a bit different, and that's okay. And also just to share and make you all feel so comforted in however you get through Christmas is how you get through Christmas. And that's okay, however you choose to approach it, cope with it, navigate it. So yeah, welcome. I hope you're all okay as we reach Christmas Day and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. It's a lot. There's a lot going on this week, I won't lie. And 10 years on, I still feel it as much now as I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year. But Christmas, I find a weird one because Matt loved Christmas. Oh, hold on, I'm actually not going to start there. I'm going to go back a little bit more. So growing up, I was the youngest of 4. So Christmas was always made incredibly magical for me, which I feel internally grateful for. So yeah, I grew up with this sort of magic around Christmas, but as I started to grow up, and this was before Matt had passed away, I found out that my mum's dad passed away on Christmas Day, and I actually remember this making me quite sad. But my mum always made Christmas so special and so happy and so exciting that then I kind of left it and let it be. And we would go and see him either on Christmas Eve, usually Christmas Eve, with my mum. And that was just her time with him, her time to remember him. And we didn't want her to ever not have that. But she was just, and my dad was so incredible at making Christmas happy and exciting and all the things as a child that you want Christmas to be. So I'm very lucky to have had that. But then sometimes I think the flip side is how then incredibly painful it is when there's someone not sat at the table, not handing out presents, not receiving presents, not on your dog walk. And to jump straight into it, part of our Christmas Day ritual, tradition now, is to go and visit Matt's grave. As I've said before, it's like a 5-10 minute walk from our house, which is, I don't even know what a right word is for this, but is nice. I don't know. But God, is that weird. We've always had dogs. We always go on a dog walk. Used to be in the woods, and now we go on a dog walk to Matt's grave. And you know what? Sometimes in the chaos of Christmas, a feeling I sometimes have is and I have guilt and horrible feelings. I feel this way sometimes. I'm like, oh, like, yeah, we have to fit in that dog walk, and it's sometimes really stressful, and it's when Christmas Day is such a exciting, happy day, you don't want to go do that. But on the flip side, I'm like, I have to go see Matt and wish him Merry Christmas. But then as the last sort of 4 or 5 years have gone on, I don't feel the need to be as connected to Matt's grave and headstone as I once was. So perhaps I just feel less of a need for that. But we do it, and we're together, we're a unit when we do it. And I guess that's something nice, that we're us five together. Oh, I literally hate saying us five, but us five all together. But yeah. Anyway, that was a quick ramble of here's my Christmas history. But yeah, so Christmas, I think, when you're approaching it, is just so overwhelming. I remember I don't actually really remember the first year, but the first year, Matt passed away in October, so it was pretty quick that Christmas raced around to us. And we'd already pretty much had our plans for Christmas, and my mum loves to host, so a lot of the time we tend to host Christmas, which is lovely because it's busy, and potentially that's the route we went down as a family. It's just being busy. A busy Christmas sort of allowed less time to approach and even acknowledge what had happened to us. And I still think that Christmas we were all like in a state of shock anyway. Well, I was anyway. But I think approaching Christmas is just so personal, and however any family needs to approach it, you just got to do it. Like, if you're recently bereaved or potentially going to be bereaved, or you were bereaved a year, 2 years, 10 years ago, whatever, and you still can't approach Christmas, and it's not something you want to celebrate anymore and you have to block it out, honestly, because some people might think that that's really negative, but I also think those people then need to understand how painful it is, because this day is all about love and cherishing the people you loved and gifting them things to show them love, and eating all together and laughing together, games together. So when you have a major part or person in your life not there, it's one of the most painful days of the year, which is so bizarre because it's meant to be, everything's all about joy and festive and sparkles and whatever. And as we had Hannah on from Winston's Wish last week, we were talking about Christmas and how dull and dark and grey it can be, and their Christmas appeal of bringing back the colour. And it's so true. Whatever brings any colour back for you is so okay. So yeah, I just want anyone listening really to know that there's no right way to do Christmas. There really isn't. And just find comfort in whatever it is you find comfort in, whether you don't celebrate it but you still are with family, whether you scrap the presents and don't be with family, or whatever you do, just do it. Because it's a hard enough day as it is, so just do what's right for you. But yeah, so as a family, we tend to keep busy and probably actually go overboard, potentially to mask what we're all going through. But I think a massive reason for that is Matt loved Christmas. Like, he was obsessed with Christmas. And as I said, being the youngest of four, he was a major part of what made Christmas so special for me. And growing up with the magic around Christmas. So yeah, he was always so thoughtful around Christmas, and it was a very family orientated thing. He was setting up the games, doing the presents, like offering anyone a drink or any nibbles. Oh, he loved the Christmas nibbles. Those Yorkshire puddings with the beef and horseradish in, like, were his favourites. So we have those every year. Cling on to the food, I guess. But yeah, so I think we as a family love Christmas still now because of how much Matt loved it. And I think we all are like, well, he'd be so upset if we ran away from Christmas and weren't around our family for Christmas. So yeah, we tend to keep it busy. Which is okay. I love busy. We've got a big family, and most years we host, which is so nice. Yeah, and I actually have quite a funny story. About 5 Christmases ago. It doesn't start off funny, but it is funny in the end. And my nanny Pat, my grandma, passed away 5 years ago, and she passed away in November. So you're having all these things adding up to Christmas, another loss. Like, God, it was painful. But again, she loved Christmas and made Christmas so special for all of us. But we get to Christmas, and I think this is my mum's mum. And honestly, I think my mum had just lost it at this point. She lost her dad on Christmas Day, her son 5 years before that, and this year had lost her mum. And I think she was just like, oh, I literally can't do this anymore. Don't know what else to do. But turned to gift giving as a solace, escape, healing. I don't know. So we sat on Christmas morning and we'd all given presents to each other. And she's like, okay, so this present is from mum and dad. And they're all just like these small, silly presents. But so she goes, this is from me and dad. And I went, oh, thank you. And then she goes, oh, this present is from Matt, which we, oh yeah, sorry to add. We now each give each other, like, get a gift, give a gift from Matt, because we cannot bear the fact that there's nothing from Matt or to Matt under the tree. So just quickly diverting from the story, that's another thing, presents. Oh, yeah. Horrible. Literally horrible. And so hard to navigate. So we have chosen, we give a gift from Matt and receive a gift from Matt, however small or big, whatever. Literally sometimes a chocolate, to be honest. But we just had this thing where we just had to open something and have something to him in his name under the tree. It just felt really alien to us and really hard to not have that. So yeah, that's what we did with presents. But again, if you choose to do no presents for anyone, then you do you, because God, it's tricky to figure out what feels okay to you and what feels natural and what feels comforting to you on that day. So yeah, whatever works, whatever floats your boat, you just got to do it. Put yourself first, get yourself through the day. So yeah, so then we did that for Matt. So then obviously this year my mum's like, well, I'm going to do the same for Nanny. I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, I posted a video, and Mum this exact year gifted us all quite personal presents from my grandma, Nanny Pat, and I got her biscuit tin. Anyway, so bawling my eyes out over a Christmas, not a Christmas tin, a biscuit tin. Literally bawling my eyes out. It's not funny, but like, it's also one of those things you just got to laugh at, because it also was quite funny because it's a tin, but it's what the tin meant and whatever. And then I was also like upset about the gift we got from Matt because it was sentimental and yeah. Anyway, so then we're like, oh, okay, that's really nice. And everyone's had their present. And we'd obviously at that point, we'd gone through Nanny Pat's stuff. So that's where those gifts came from. Anyway, my mum then like goes under the tree and she's like, so this is a present from Maverick, our dog. And my dad and all of us, to be honest, are literally like, what? What do you mean? And she's like, just open it. And I think it was another like sort of sentimental but cute thing. Like Nanny Pat loved chocolate orange, so I wrapped up one of those. And then she goes under the tree again. Oh, and this is from Rudolph. And my dad is literally like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, what is going on? And honestly, I just think my mum just didn't know what to do. I think at this point she was like, my poor kids, poor husband, poor me. Like, we've gone down this present opening route of these people that we've lost. So I think she was like, can't end on Nanny, so I'm going to do Rudolph and the dog. Everyone was just like, what has happened? Like, I mean, it was great. We got some extra chocolate and bits and bobs, but yeah, I just think it's just a funny memory that we all have as a family, and we just allow ourselves to laugh at like the chaos and that had come out from losing two really, really important people to us in the span of 5 years, and addressing Christmas within that. So yeah, it was actually quite funny. And it's okay for it to be funny and awkward and weird and honestly. Yeah, so anyway, now we still do a present from Nat still every year, 10 years on. And then 3 years ago, my granddad passed away in August. And when it came around to actually, are we going to do a present from granddad? Because, like, oh my God, literally. But we were like, well, no, because my grandma Guy is still here. So we don't do that. We felt that would be not right because she's there and she still likes to give us presents from her and granddad. We view it that way. So that's lovely. So again, like navigating it differently for different people and different people you love and different people you've lost. So yeah, there's my whole Christmas present spiel and story and a bit of laughter for you all, I hope. Well, I was laughing. So Christmas, yeah, as we all have got a bit older, Christmas Eve, I mean, now we just have a big old quiz and everyone does a quiz and we all have a cocktail and get a little bit drunk, to be honest. Christmas Day is actually really nice. We tend to just see family, see my other grandma, Guy, which is lovely, and just eat a lot and play a lot of games. And again, there's definitely a level of distraction there. But with the presents from Matt, I think we feel like we're acknowledging him and we're not leaving him behind. At dinner or Christmas lunch, when we sit down, we don't leave a place for Matt, but we always cheers to Matt. And then, God, that was another thing that happened the Christmas after Grandad had passed away. Honestly, it's just like funny because we were there. Cheers to Matt. Oh, and cheers to Nanny. Oh, and cheers to Grandad. Oh, and cheers to other Grandad. And we were just like, what? Like, this is just not right. But yeah, we do it anyway. And we cheers them all. And I definitely do in my spiritual brain picture them all celebrating Christmas together somewhere and being there with us, yeah, in some capacity. And I must say, I feel really lucky to still love Christmas. But interestingly, from my chat with Hannah last week, and I've been thinking about it over this week, the allowing yourself to feel certain emotions, I think, allow the happiness to creep back in and the celebration to creep back in and the excitement to creep back in potentially around Christmas. And I feel like that is how I feel and how I navigate Christmas. I think I really allow myself to feel sad about Christmas. But I think allowing myself to feel sad, I can then also feel excited on the flip side. And knowing that Matt would be so angry at me if I was sad at Christmas also makes me feel able to feel happy and excited and enjoy it with my family. But God, is it hard? Like, it is tough. Really tough. And it's small things like there's 4 of us, so 6 of us in the 4 kids, 6 of us in the family. We used to all do stockings in our mum and dad's bed. And then the year after Matt passed, it was like, okay, we cannot do that. That's a small change we made. Okay, let's just move it downstairs. It was too much for my mum and dad, I think. So yeah, just small things. And yeah, I just think it's a big old spiel on what me and my family do. But I guess that's all I can provide is my experience and my emotions and how I deal with Christmas, how we deal with Christmas. But I just want to make it so clear that however you choose to deal with Christmas this year or any of your past Christmases or any of your future Christmases is okay. There's no right one way to grieve, first of all, but also to approach Christmas. Because Christmas juxtaposes grief slightly. So yeah, just do you and don't apologize for it. This is your life and this is your healing and your journey. So just, yeah, allow it and it's okay and feel it. And maybe one piece of advice from me would be, if you can, because it's so hard, but if you can feel the bad emotions so deeply, that might allow you to come out and feel the good ones and allow you to be excited and happy around this time of year. But yeah, it's a weird one. Presents are weird. Christmas dinner's weird. Christmas traditions are weird. Going on a walk to your brother's grave. Weird. Weird is probably the best word I can use for Christmas because I love Christmas, but I hate it at the same time. Yeah. It's all okay. Just now thinking about Christmas and the last present Matt got me and where we were the Christmas before, yeah. Memories flooding in. So yeah, I just want to send so much love to all of you listening. And I'm sending you all a big squeeze as we roll into the next week with Christmas and New Year's. And just to let you all know that you're doing great and you're here listening to this and me ramble and you're putting yourself first and you're feeling your emotions and that's all you can do. So just one step at a time, one day at a time, one Christmas at a time. Merry Christmas. We never say Happy Christmas because Matt hated Happy Christmas. He'd go, it's not Happy Christmas, it's Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I will see you all shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Lost and Found with Frankie. If it's resonated with you, or if you've taken something from this episode, or if you've just sat down and enjoyed it, I'd be so grateful if you could rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hit that follow button, and if you're watching me over on YouTube, please give it a like and subscribe. I really want to reach as many young people and teens who are dealing with grief, as I know firsthand how much hearing conversations like this can help. So if you know someone who could benefit from what we've talked about here today, please give it a share with them too. And come say hello on Instagram and TikTok at Lost and Found with Frankie. So thank you again for being in this space here with me, and I'll see you next time.